what's up, everybody? Welcome to Verbalize. I'm your host, Christina.
And I'm Tamara. What's up?
What's up, baby?
And it's Tuesday, and you know what Tuesday is?
What's Tuesday?
It's election day.
It is.
Yes.
Go vote. Are you going to vote?
Yeah.
Care about stuff like that?
Yeah, I do. I actually voted last year for Obama. Yes, I did. And I think it's important that we vote. I think we as a people, we always complain about certain things that are going on that needs to be changed within our country. And that's our chance to have a voice. When you go and vote, that's your voice. You're making, you're making yourself be heard loud and clear. And it's like, if you don't take advantage of that opportunity, how can you ever complain about what's going on with our country?
Exactly. A lot of people think it's just me. It's just one vote. It doesn't matter. And if every one person said that, think about how many thousands of people would not be included in the voting process. And like you said, that's when your voice does make a difference. For every person that contributes their vote, that's how we get the people into office. So right now we've got midterm elections going on.
Yes.
And it's more like on a state level, of course. And there's a lot of things going on and swirling around with Democrats and Republicans. And it's always going to be that way. It causes more division in our country, and it's unfortunate, but it does give us the right to believe in what we want to believe in. And as we all know, Obama is Democratic.
Yes.
And he has pushed a lot of new laws into place,
a
lot of new bills, correct, and the Republicans are not happy with it, not at all.
Also, I think that a lot of the new laws and bills that he did put into action are better for this country. I really believe that, but I'm entitled to that opinion. Others may not see it the same way as I do, and I feel like that of course, he's Democrat. The Republicans are trying to get back into a position of power in the White House to where they can overturn some of these bills.
Exactly, especially in our state, because our state is more Republican, always has been. It's part of the South. And even with Obama being president, being Democrat, if our state government is predominantly Republican, then they're going to start, like you said, they're going to start overturning bills, appealing things, and my personal belief system is not that of a Republican. And so, it's going to get tough because it's causing a lot of conflict in the government and also with our people. And so I think that, Republicans are very pissed off basically about what's going on in the country, and then yet Democrats are thinking, well, we were pissed off when Bush was in office, and now we're trying to make change.
We're trying to clean it up.
Clean it up, exactly. And people don't realize the degree of what Obama's had to deal with on his plate. I mean, coming into a presidency and you've got mounds and mounds of issues that have been transpiring, that have been pending, unfinished business, things like that he's had to kind of just take on.
He even said that, everything that he's fighting for may not even come through within his first term of him being a president. He said this is something that may not be able to happen until his next term in office. So I think people are just thinking that the moment he got in office, change was immediately going to happen. I think he's moved at such a good pace on making certain things happen that, we have to be patient with him. Nothing changes overnight. And I hate how people blame him for everything that was wrong with our country before he got in office.
That's not fair.
And that's not fair at all. He's coming into office trying to clean up some of the mess that has already been made. And I don't think it's fair that we blame him for past mistakes that our last president made. That's not fair at all.
And I do sit there and say, is he doing everything right? No, he's not. I mean, we can all say that, even me, and I'm a huge fan of his and I voted for him, but his sense of urgency on certain topics, him giving money and these bailouts to all these different organizations and businesses and things. I don't necessarily agree with all of those things that are happening, but I do know that the recession is being handled. Things are better than they were 2 years ago for sure. He's brought our troops home. We're not at war in the Middle East right now. There's some pluses, some big pluses, and I think that that's what we need to focus on. But there's not a lot of unity going on in our country right now. It's a lot of division, and mostly between the Democrats and Republicans. So I know for our state, it's going to be a really big deal at how people vote this week, because like we said, it'll give the outcome of, do we have Republicans in our House, or is it going to be Democrats? So that'll be interesting. And
I think we've always kind of been against each other, you know, the Democrat and the Republicans. But it just seems like now that we have our first African American president in office, that they're just really butting heads and hating each other now.
Yep.
It's just like we're really at war with one another. And I don't ever remember it being this bad, like when Clinton was in office, which, by the way, who I think just ran this country perfectly.
I was going to say, I think that was one of the best presidencies
Absolutely.
in a very long time.
Absolutely. Yeah. Despite what he did behind closed doors, I'm not judging him.
His personal life, you know, you can all have your own little ideas and thoughts about him there.
But judging him on a professional and what he did for our country, I think that's what we should base it off of. And that's what we did base it off of, because they tried to impeach him and it didn't work. So, but I don't know. It's a lot of
people don't even realize, even now, currently with Obama, you know, his camp and who all is on the House of Representatives and everything, you know, there's a lot of Republicans. And he gets to approve things at the end and sign off on it. But there's a whole process that goes on behind closed doors that we don't ever get to see.
Yes.
And a lot of Republicans have their voice, and if they're, you know, making things happen, he doesn't even have control over
He doesn't have a say
issues in certain things. Exactly. So people still point the finger at him, and he might have not even had anything to do with it.
I think
so
that when they see presidency, they're like, oh, well, he has the last say so. Yeah, it could be 100 Republicans down for this one cause, but at the end of the day, he's the president, he has the say so. And it doesn't work like that. I wish it did work like that, but it just doesn't.
For me, politics are a lot like religion. I'm not so, I mean, I do choose democracy over being Republican, but I like the independent parties the best. And we've never had an independent party representative actually get elected into office. And I'd love to see someone of an independent party make it to presidency, because I think that, you know, there's just always too much one-sidedness going on in the government, and then it creates this division amongst us as Americans. But maybe that day will come when we can get an independent party in there. But
I'm hopeful for it. I think we've definitely come a long way. Who would have ever thought that, you know, some of us that have grandparents that are still alive, that, you know, grew up in this country when things like this weren't possible at all. And even just a few years ago, we never thought that the moment that we're living in right now would even be possible. So I definitely think, you know, we've come a long way, and I'm excited. It makes me feel better that, you know, I have the opportunity to be able to tell my children one day when I have them that you don't have to just look at being an athlete or, you know, an entertainer or a doctor or a lawyer or something like that. Like, you actually, if you work hard enough, you have the opportunity to one day be the president of the United States, and that's a son or a daughter. So.
Exactly, I was going to say, hopefully we'll see a woman in the office one of these days, but nobody understands, you know, what it means to be the president. It seems glamorous, it seems fabulous. You know, yes, he lives a great life with Michelle and the girls, and they travel the world and do fun things, but nobody knows the load, you know, and it's not his responsibility to share the load with us. I mean, he's not going to come on the media and the tabloids
and be like, I'm sick of this.
Yeah, I mean, we always see him playing golf and like traveling, and we think, oh, well, he's not being the president, but you know, I'm sure he works extremely hard to make this country a better place. And I just don't want like 9/11 to have to be a situation that brings our country together. We shouldn't have to go through
something that tragic.
Exactly, just devastating things to make our unity come back together. So I just think as a country, you know, we kind of need to work on that.
Because that was the one time where it didn't matter what color, race, religion, background. We all united as a people. But like you said, it's sad that something that tragic had to happen for us to get to that point.
It takes each and every one of us to make our country better, not just the president and the government. We have to contribute our part as a citizen to this country. And furthermore, you need to go out and vote.
Yes, guys, please go to your local voters registration booth, wherever it is, school, church, wherever they're, you know, holding where you can go and vote. Please go and do so. It's very important if you want your voice to be heard, especially if you did vote, you know, for the president, for Democrats. Please make sure you go and make sure your voice is heard. Today is November 2nd. It's officially time to vote.
Yes.
All right, guys. So thank you at home for watching. Be sure to tune in daily for more great guests and hot topics. I'm Tamara.
And I'm Christina.
Thanks for watching.